the talk, all the hype, but the past is prologue as this Super Bowl is underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And no doubt he's living out a dream right now. He's had dating back to his first days of playing football as a kid. But he certainly can't get lost in the moment right now. There's still a Super Bowl to be played, and his offense, they're looking to him to be their leader. You can take it all in when it's over. Right now, you've got the biggest game of your life to win.
In motion goes the tight end.
Throwing on the first play from scrimmage. Here's Burrow.
Gonna throw right. And oh, right away, he lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
So the Rams in great position here as they get things started. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we are looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Akers again.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
Cam Akers
punching it in from a yard away. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when
anything to ward off To power his way forward.
Matt Gay on for the extra point.
It's up, it's good, and the Rams take a 7-0 lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Ready to go on offense. Out come the Bengals. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Burrow going to get this out to Chase.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB, too. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
And he will find his big tight end over the middle.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
Here we go.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's second down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, 15 yards. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. From the end zone, here comes Brandon Powell. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force. And they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. On the counter, this is Akers. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
We've reached the end of one here at the Super Bowl with a lot more still to come. Second quarter after this timeout.
7-all is the score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
They'll run on first down with Akers.
Tackle made there by WOODEEZ.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. WOODEEZ with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows the defense to tighten up their coverage, and they pick that one off.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. And the slot man goes in motion left. They will throw on first down with Burrow.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. I'm just fooled by the type of zone that he sees because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Basically, you're not going to outwork two guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Stafford. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket. And move. Make something happen, and on that play he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
A give up the middle to Akers. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Going right back to Akers. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll run here with Akers. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Akers. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. Stafford now to throw. And that is incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And Gay knocks this one through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. A
Good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Come on, let's go. Shut him down. Shut him down. Let's do this.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, fighting his way into the backfield.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss.
Big 13. Big 13.
On second down, here's Mixon. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people, because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers, because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And that is incomplete. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. So on is the lefty, Kevin Huber, to kick it away for the Bengals here on 4th down. Back deep, Brandon Powell. A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. Cam Akers and the Rams offense ready to go back to work. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Now a first down throw. Stafford got a man open. It's Tyler Higbee. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On first down, Stafford here. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And he showed off the athletic juke.
Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
Here's a run with Akers on second down.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
59 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
They'll run a draw now with Akers.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. Now Stafford. Touchdown, Rams. Tyler Higbee as the first half is winding down. And the Rams add on to their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. The Bengals drive about to get going. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
They go play action with Burrow. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Troy Hill picks it, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. The final shot before the break, Stafford. He's got a man. It's his fullback. Touchdown, Rams. From 8 yards out. And the Rams tack on to their advantage.
But my education continues in this game, I've got to tell you, because there's not an analyst in the world that would have said